So, how else do I want to put this? There's no other way to put this, right? These are my top 10 moments in mixed martial arts or combat sports for 2024. Let's go. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the episode. Let's have a conversation. As the year 2024 comes to an end, the curtains fall down, and it's time for a lot of sober reflections. Most channels or most commentators in this space, the combat sports space, either have videos talking about their top 10 fights, top 10 title fights, top 10 KOs. Yeah, I don't want to limit my top 10 list, to just fights or KOs, right? I like to have moments. Now, a lot of them will be fights, but these are all moments in time and moments in history. And I'd like to talk about them. And I'm going to list them in order of importance, starting from 10 to 1. I'll start from 10 and work my way up all the way to 1. 1 being my favorite moment in all of combat sports in 2024. Without further ado, hold on. There needs to be a disclaimer. There's gonna be a lot of beef and haterade. There's gonna be a lot of hating in this video. Just so you guys know, I'm going to be very biased. It's very normal, okay? All right? It is what it is. You guys don't have preferences, right? So these are my moments. They're not yours, they're mine. So let's get into it. And don't be too hard in the damn comment sections, you assholes. All right, so number 10 on my list of most favorite moments in combat sports for the year 2024 is Conor McGregor being found guilty of SA. I know, that's a strange way to start this conversation, but it is the truth. And I'll tell you why. Listen, I always tell athletes, when you get to a certain kind of level, there's a certain kind of expectation that is, there's a level of expectation of responsibility that is required from you. In order for you not to blow up all the shit you've worked for, in order for you not to compromise all your brand, your hard work, your money, your reputation. When you get to a certain kind of level, that expectation is higher than the average man. And I'm sorry to say, Conor McGregor, the moment he hit money, he's just been all over the goddamn place. You can be a showman and still be responsible. There are so many showmen that have been there in sports, right? Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Muhammad Ali, so many, Sugar Ray Leonard, so many, Brock Lesnar, right? Bringing it down to the UFC, GSP, Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen. These are all showmen. They know how to talk. but they also know how to put their shit together. And Conor was not one of the people who could put his shit together. Hence, when this case happened, for me, it was a reality check. And I hope that Conor can, I hope it brings him down to a good level. So in a way, that conviction is a good thing if it helps him put his priorities together. I'm just saying. Moving on to number 9 of my favorite moments in combat sports for 2024. Belal Muhammad winning the welterweight championship from Leon Edwards. And not only doing that, he actually did a victory parade in Manchester with the belt on enemy turf, bruh. I loved to see it. I love to see it. I absolutely love to see it, especially considering that Leon was fucking ducking Belal for the longest time, and then that fight happened, and then Belal just completely ragdolled him. Now, my personal favorite is I'm going to take it a step further in this list on number 9. My personal favorite moment for my number 9 is this moment right here, when Leon Edwards has his head planted on the canvas. This is gold. This picture should be in Belal's office, in his car, on his phone. It should be a screensaver on Belal's phone. I completely loved it. No regrets there. All right, moving on to number 8. After Merab trolling Sean O'Malley. If you guys remember, after Merab won the belt, the bantamweight belt from Sugar Sean O'Malley, and O'Malley started coming out to deny that he lost, being delusional. I don't know if he was trolling, who cares, don't care, should have shut the fuck up. Merab releases this little video where, he's driving down the street, crashes into O'Malley, into a vehicle. He comes out of the vehicle, looks to the ground and sees a miniature O'Malley in a miniature Lamborghini, and he goes there, takes O'Malley's mini belt, and then sends him on his way. That was one of the funniest shit I saw this year. That really made me laugh. That made me laugh. That was the funniest troll for 2024 to me, and it lands on my number 8 of my favorite moments in combat sports in 2024. Number 7, Sean O'Malley. Speaking of, Sean O'Malley defeating Chito Vera. So Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera 2. And Sean completely dismantles Chito Vera. It was a masterclass of mixed martial arts. Skill level from here and here wasn't even comparable. I mean, considering how the first fight went, with Sean having that early injury on his leg, and Chito just went on for years claiming that he actually won Sean O'Malley. And O'Malley had the chance for retribution and passed the retribution class in flying colors. It was a beautiful moment to see. Look at Chito's face before the fight and after the fight. Need I say more? No, I do not. Now, number 6 on my list would be UFC 300. That moment when Alex Pereira is hunting down Jamal Hill in the fight. And then Jamal Hill throws a leg kick and it hits Alex Pereira right on the family jewels. And then Herb Dean notices the kick. It was a low kick, and Herb Dean moved in to try and stop Alex Pereira, or stop the fight. And Alex, without even flinching, just dusts off the kick, and then he stops Herb Dean. Didn't even look, no eye contact. He was fixated on Jamal Hill. And then within a split second, Alex goes in and KOs Jamal Hill immediately after that. When I tell you that was the best Alex Pereira KO ever, it was lovely. It was lovely. And that moment right there makes the number 6 position on my list. Number 5 on my list of top favorite moments in MMA would have to be when Valentina Shevchenko retained her flyweight belt. Was it flyweight? Strawweight? Flyweight belt. I think it's flyweight, whatever. Valentina Shevchenko retains her championship belt. Now, this might not be news to all of you, but I've mentioned in the past that Valentina Shevchenko is my favorite female fighter of all time. The Bullet. Hands down. More than Chris Cyborg, more than Ronda Rousey, more than Amanda Nunes, more than Misha Tate, more than John Wayne Lee, more than Todd Rose. I would always go with Valentina Shevchenko, belt or no belt, as my favorite female fighter. So her being a dominant champion was very exciting to watch during her reign, and then having to have gone through the trilogy with Alexa Grasso and lost the belt the first time, I believe. The second time was a draw, I believe. And then the last time Valentina finally, the last and final fight, Valentina, I believe, won the belt. And I was very happy for Valentina Shevchenko. So that's my number 5 in my top 10 favorite moments of mixed martial arts or combat sports for 2024. Now, moving on to number 4. Ilia Topuria knocking out Max Holloway. There's a lot to unpack with this particular moment. First, the fact that leading up to that match, Ilia, I did not really respect Ilia Topuria. Sorry. I didn't respect Ilia. Even after he killed Volkanovski, I did not still respect Ilia. I thought Ilia was very fake. I thought Ilia Topuria was very unoriginal. I just wasn't a fan, and I was not sold at that point in time. So when Ilia was coming up to face Max Holloway, I was very, 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 very happy, thinking that Max Holloway was gonna put Ilia's lights out. Ilia mentioned before the fight that he's going to be the first person to put out Max Holloway. But Max, until that point, had never been KO'd. That's how durable Max Holloway is. Never been KO'd. This guy's fought Conor McGregor. Dude has fought Dustin Poirier twice. He's fought, what's his name? Korean Zombie. He's almost fought Khabib, right? Almost. Brian Ortega, El Pantera, what's his name? Yair Rodriguez. These are all names. Alexander Volkanovski 3 times. Jose Aldo. Look at the caliber of people that Max has under his name. Look at the amount of people he's fought. Not one person was able to knock him out until he faced Ilia Topuria. And Ilia went in there completely decimated. And I mean completely decimated Max Holloway. It was so impressive, it had to win me over. It was so impressive, I became a fan. That's how impressed I was by that. When I say I was so impressed, what the fuck? Just a sec. Just gotta put this mic out the way because the shadow's on the back. Yeah, I was that impressed, guys, by Max, Ilia Topuria completely putting out Max's lights. And I love Max Holloway, don't get me wrong. I still prefer Max Holloway to Ilia Topuria just as a fighter. But you cannot help but respect Ilia Topuria. And whatever that man wants to do in the UFC, I think the UFC should let him do it. If that means he needs to vacate the featherweight belt, go up to lightweight, do some magic there, take the BMF, whatever Ilia Topuria wants to do, the UFC has to let him do it at this point. He's earned it. He's earned it. My respect, more importantly. My number 3 moment in combat sports for the year 2024. Number 3 on the list. John Jones returning to defend his heavyweight title belt, stops Stipe Miocic, and then does the Trump dance. That's my version of the Trump dance. Hey, listen. You guys notice I haven't said anything about politics, right? I don't talk politics on this show. I do not say politics because y'all are too sensitive and y'all are a bunch of pussies. You are all a bunch of crybabies when it comes to politics. I do not know why. I don't really care. But I try not to, I try not to fuck with your sensitivities. However, it's been, a couple of months or a couple of weeks after the election, so I guess the results of the US election have sunk in to some of you who are so sensitive on this issue. And now we can talk about some shit. Now we can talk about the Trump dance. Now we can talk about the trend. And John Jones doing that in that moment, it was a reflection of more than what half of the US represents. Hey, don't come at me. This is just what it is. Straight up saying the truth. Don't come at me. I have no time to argue with anybody about this. It's just what it is. John Jones did it, and it was a favorite moment of mine for 2024. Okay? You can argue about he's ducking Tom Aspinall. You can argue about, Stipe was older. Don't care about that. Those are not top moments. Well, my best moment is the fact that he went in there, defended that heavyweight title belt, beat Stipe Miocic, the consensus greatest heavyweight in UFC history, did it in spectacular fashion, and still had time to do the Trump dance. Transitioning to number 2. My second most favorite moment in combat sports, I rephrase, and I say combat sports because this one is very relevant. Very relevant. When James Vick got KO'd in karate combat. You guys may not know it, but I do not like James Vick. James Vick is one of the most annoying fighters when he was in the UFC. And then he went up against Justin Gaethje, and Gaethje put his lights out. He called Justin Gaethje, what do you call him? I think he called Justin Gaethje the Homer Simpson of the UFC, or some shit like that. Gaethje completely put that guy's lights out. And after fighting Justin Gaethje, just like Tony Ferguson, James Vick was never the same again. Then he goes into karate combat. And this happens. This is my number 2 favorite moment in all of combat sports for 2024. And if you guys have never seen this and I'm the one who's bringing it to your notice, you're welcome. You are welcome. Now, last but not least, I'm sure some of you saw this coming. Some may not have seen it coming, I don't know. But if we started at number 10 and I'm at number 1 right now without mentioning this, then you obviously know that this is the moment. This is the moment of 2024 when it comes to combat sports. And I'm talking across boxing, I'm talking across MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, Muay Thai, whatever. Max Holloway knocking Justin Gaethje out in round 5 of their fight for the BMF title with 1 second to go on the clock. It is one of the most epic moments in UFC history. It is one of the most epic moments in combat sports, hands down. The fact that Max not only went in there as the major underdog, but he dominated Justin Gaethje for 4 rounds. I rephrase. He dominated Justin Gaethje for 5 rounds, and then in the last 10 seconds, gave Justin Gaethje an opportunity to knock him out. And then they stand in the center of the ring. Because Max Holloway, when he points down, you better run that way. When Max Holloway points down to the center, don't do it. When Max Holloway does this, you go that way. Max does this, you say no. When Max does this, shit is about to go down. So he presents this to Justin Gaethje. Let's go. And they start swaying. Remember, at this point in the fight, Max is 5 rounds in of complete decimation and dominion, really, over Justin Gaethje. And then he still gives him that opportunity, but he was too damn fast. Gaethje didn't see the right overhand coming after a few shots to the body. Lands on his jaw, and it was oh good Lord, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. It will probably go down as one of my most favorite moments in all of MMA. Forever. Right? Honorable mentions of some of my most favorite moments, not for 2024, but just hands down. When Yair Rodriguez knocked out the Korean Zombie. When Israel Adesanya knocked out Alex Pereira. Israel Adesanya versus Kevin Gastelum. Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. These are some of just my best moments. But for 2024, going forward, Max Holloway KOing Justin Gaethje takes the Dumb Casuals Award for the winner of favorite moment in all of combat sports in 2024. I said it. What do you guys think of my list? Did I go too hard on some people? Did I did give a disclaimer in the beginning that I would certainly be saying certain things. But again, all this is open to interpretation and it's open to feedback. Guys, let me know, what is your favorite moment from combat sports? It doesn't even have to be just in the UFC. It could be anywhere. It could be WWE, it could be boxing, Muay Thai, one championship, whatever. Let me know, what was your favorite moment in combat sports across all the news for 2024? I would love to know. And on that note, guys, this is the last video for the year. I really thank and appreciate you guys for all the support you've given me for the entire year. 2024 was good. Let's make 2025 even better. Let's sit down and have real conversations and say some dumb shit and share our biases. Okay? Let's run down those we respect, because we respect fighters, right? But we still talk a lot of shit on this channel. Let's do that and be bigger and better at it in 2025. Is that asking for too much? No, it's not. It's not. I'm not asking for too much by saying that. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the new year when the fights come back. I love you guys. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year in advance. Peace.